This right here, tell me what goes out to everyone that has lost someone that they truly love. Come on, bro. I know you're still living your life after death.
Last time I sat down with you, I told everyone my story. I told everyone how I went about attempting to commit suicide. The reason why I'm here today, and the reason I did it. I spoke to this guy, and he's really influential. He's really, he shot me a meaning. He shot me words into my brain, and I've never had someone who talked to me about that stuff really give me this vision of, we need to fix this problem, and we need to go about it a different way. So ever since our last talk, my last interview with you, I've followed two stories. Well, I've followed more than two stories, but it was in this video is the main two stories that I followed. It's about two kids that committed suicide over bullying. And it hit me because, it really hit me, and it struck me to do this interview with you. I wanted to post this for people to see, because at my school the other day, everyone wore purple for people who were bullied to death by bullies at school and committed suicide due to it. That day made me realize how thankful I am to be here. And so I followed these two stories, and one of them was actually very recent. His name is Jamie. Happened in September. He killed himself because of bullying. And here's one of his most famous videos.
It does get better. Here's a little bit of my story. December 2010, I thought I was bi, and then I always got made fun of because I virtually have no guy friends, and I only have friends that are girls, and it bothers me because people would be like, faggot, fag, and they'd taunt me in the hallways, and I felt like I could never escape it, and I made a form spring, which I should have done. And people would just constantly send me hate, telling me that gay people go to hell. And I just want to tell you that it does get better, because when I came out for being bi, I got so much support from my friends, and it made me feel so secure. And then if your friends or family isn't even there for you, I look up to the most supporting people of the gay community that I think of, that I know. Lady Gaga. She makes me so happy.
Now, this to me interests me because, a lot of people, this is a big problem in the States right now, is bisexual, homosexual, transgender, that kind of stuff. It always got me. I was never one that was against it. I have a lot of gay friends. I have a lot of bisexual friends. I've met people that were transgender. But to be bullied over it is something that I can't put my shoes in. So I wanted to listen to his story and put my shoes in his. I wanted to put my feet in his shoes. And I wanted to see if I could walk around and, understand his story. I can't exactly do it because I'm not homosexual, I'm not bi, I'm not any of that, I'm straight. I wanted to see what it was like. Why would people do this? Because I would never do that to someone. And I could never understand the pain that he went through to drive himself to it, because this video on YouTube was called "It Gets Better, I Promise." And clearly by his message was saying, if you come out of the closet, you have more support and it will get better. So you know, my condolences to him. Huge story. I hope people really look into it. And I never understood it. I mean, people treat that type of, what do I want to say, like, they treat gay people, they treat that area like it's a race. I mean, I was never one to judge people by their skin. I was never one to judge people by, you know, their sexuality. But it's like a whole different field. You don't get judged by the color of your skin there. You get judged by who you like, what gender you like, what gender you want to be. And, you know, people give them crap for not coming out, and then it seems like people give them more crap and bullying when they do come out. Or, you know, people say, oh, you're so fake, you should be you. You shouldn't be trying to act like someone else. But when they go do that and say they turn transgender, then they get more shit for it. And it's like, there's no pleasing people in this world today. There's really not. And bullies that have committed suicide due to it, I feel, how do I say this, like, they've been bullied so much they don't even know who to trust, whether it's their friends or not. And, you know, their friends are probably like, you know, you should have came to me, or you should have done this, or this. But, you know, they've been bullied so much they don't know who to trust or who to be around except themselves. And then they get to the point where, you know, so long that they've been by themselves, they don't see a reason for being here. Which made me really want to follow this man, and his name was Ryan. And he committed suicide due to bullying. I haven't gotten the whole story, but what really got me interested in his story was he was 13 years old. Ryan was really young too. Or Jamie was really young. Ryan's young too. Ryan's 13 when he died. And his dad goes around to schools and pretty much tells Ryan's story to schools all around. I forget how many schools he's been to, but it's been a couple hundred that he's actually gone to and talked to about his son.
I am totally convinced that this is the worst pain that a human being could ever encounter in a life, is to lose a child. You all are loved beyond belief. And he found out that her friends and her thought it would be funny for her to pretend to like him online and get him to share and say very personal stuff, which she copied and pasted into other IMs and sent them around for a good laugh at his expense. I can't imagine the pain, the humiliation he must have felt as he stood there and these girls laughed at him. What we need to reach first and foremost is the bystanders. The group that stood there and laughed, that let this happen to begin with. The group that was too scared to step in and say, hey, this isn't right. I want every young person in this room that is not a bully and not bullied, but a bystander, to make a commitment that from this point on, for the rest of your life, you're not going to just stand by and laugh or let this happen. You, as a group, have the most power in this school to turn this school around and make it the best school that a young person could possibly ever go to. Stress enough to you guys. What a terrible mistake my son made. And I pray that any young person in this audience that feels the way Brian felt, that you give life a chance. I promise you things work out in the long run. You haven't lived long enough to to know that this is such a short period of your life. I promise you, when you get up to 30, 40, 50, you look back, this is only 2, 3 years out of your life. Sure, it might have been a hellhole, but it's not forever. And things do get better if you give it a chance. And I just hope that you guys have the courage to step forward and ask for help when you ever feel the way Ryan felt. Please don't ever forget Ryan's story and the fragility of adolescence. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Now, to me, that's the way. That's a great way to interact. That's a great way to get the message of anti-bullying out. I mean, people sit down and watch TV, and all you see on the news is negative stuff. Whether it be the war, whether it be someone got arrested, and it's rarely anything good anymore. It's rarely anything. Let's thank these people because they helped these people out. Let's thank this person because he did this for this person, or he's doing this for this town. It's not like that anymore. It's all negative, and it feels, being in the depression that I'm in, along with a lot of other people, I feel like the news or TV in general should be something that could be positive. I mean, there's great shows, there's funny shows, there's movies, good movies, but there's also the negative ones. But the news really puts out a lot of negative vibes. And I wish that people, or they could at least put more positive stuff in it. But going around speaking to schools is really caught my eye. It's like, wow, you know what, I could actually do that and go around and share my story. And, the way, just looking at the faces on the people in the audience, they were young and they were like, whoa, you know what, you're right. I didn't see it like this. And I wish that people would get up out of that situation, after he told his son's story, and actually put it to work, put it into motion. I feel like everyone that gets up out of after he talked, or anyone in general, I feel like they get up hoping that someone else will start the movement, hoping that someone else will, take the step to fix things, and then everyone else will follow. It goes back to Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror. It goes to him saying, you can't expect everyone else around you to change. The change starts with you as one individual. And after that, people will realize, it takes one person to start it, pretty much, and you should be that one. Don't sit around waiting for others to change. You should go and start it yourself. And Diddy and Notorious had a quote that was, in order to change the world, you must first change ourselves. Meaning, if you want the world to change, you also have to be willing to change. And that goes into a relationship, that goes into a friendship, that goes into world peace, it goes into everything. You can't date someone hoping they'll change when you're not willing to change. You can't go into a friendship saying, look, you must change your ways, but I'm not going to change mine. It has to go in all directions. It has to go both ways. And I feel that's the way that that's the way that bullying has to be stopped. It has to be stopped one problem at a time. That one problem will lead up to multiple problems, which will lead up to even more problems that'll be solved. I guess what I want people to take away from this is, bullying is a huge problem in this world. I'm not saying bullies don't have their problems. Some bullies take their problems and take it out on others. That's just how they deal with it. But they don't realize that they hurting someone, until after the fact. But then there's just the bullies that do it because it's fun. because they feel they have more power, and they can get what they want. They get a laugh out of it. It's the way that they can make themselves happy. But I don't understand. I guess my question is, the bullying is, how far are you willing to take it? What is your trophy that you get out of it? Do you bully because you want him to kill himself? Is that what you want? Because you don't like him or her, that you want to disrespect them and treat them so bad that they do go kill themselves? Because, I mean, how far do you have to take it? How many words, how many people have to die? How many people have to tell you you're doing something wrong, you're doing something mean, for you to stop? Does it really take a death or multiple deaths for people to stop bullying? Like, I don't know what happened to these people's bullies. I mean, I don't know if they learned their lesson. I would love to know if they learned their lesson. I would love to know if they would take it back. They can't. Just like they can't take back their lives, they can't come back into the world. But, I mean, what were you shooting? I guess that's my question. What were you shooting for when you were bullying these kids? Because from what I've seen, the people that I've looked up and read their stories were the nicest, most innocent kids. So, I mean, all I want to say is, I hope people in this world finally start to put together that bullying is a huge problem at any age. It starts young and it continues out of high school, continues past college. And, I guess my last words are going to be a friend to someone before you lose one.